This is straight up for all them niggas out there who fronted on some bullshit in the beginning. Fuck that. I ain't shit. 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 I ain't shit.
All these schools. Eye-to-eye transfer of knowledge, you need no schools. Waking up the masses, music is class and stage. Most fail cause they look like the flying shades. Following demons possess Kanye's and Lil Wayne's. Expecting a hippie with a cross and a Greek name. In a melanin cause me D&B, delayed cup with no cheese. Orisha's in me, I'm not what you don't see. I'm not one of those armchair revolutionaries. Allah's in me, sick and tired of being sick and tired, but that's just where we get our strength, man. The Christ is in me. I'm not a hustler, pimp, gangster, wankster, but trust me, they all in me.
I got it when the moon shifted the tomb in the melanated womb, sipping milk in the honeydew and triple black boom. Touchdown, traveling on planet Earth where we crush clowns, while I'm managing this curse and preparing the elixir that turns copycats into kitty litter. These poor pussies pretending to be misters. I cannot sin, but I can be very sinister. My limitations are limited as I do a lap around the galaxy. Had to gather light and rally back and fuck the fallacy. And cause of that, I got labeled the antagonist. And it didn't help that I cuss and bun cannabis and bun candles and wear symbols of Orishas. And I put a hex on the heads of 7 preachers with one trailer spit aimed at the pulpit. Crush the crucifix, a whole tabernacle backflip. I'm not Catholic, but if I choose my bare resonance, you may just catch a glimpse of Lucifer's semblance. Up and down Jacob's ladder with my melanin, the vessel of no fear none. You can find the devil in.
Alright, so let's pour the libations. Omagumu, Olensu, Shumala, Okija, Chiaja, Cheoa, Alcala, Locayo, Kakambo, Lalila. I need some Halara shades. Issa, Manu, Nasu, Mana, Inmatu, Tuki, Juba, Jova, Egati, Kasimbo, Nisa, Isala, Abiru, Pazuzu, Lupa, Anure, Alconia, Ida, Ayo, Everett, Ragba, Notoyo,
I see.
So it has right here in the dictionary, black Moor. And it has the part of speech right under it. Next to it says noun. And it says a black person, man or woman, Negro. Then it has in italics, black in small case, plus, then it got Moor capitalized. There's an identity right there in the dictionary. It was never really hidden. You tell these people they're Moors, they say, what religion is that? They are so asleep. The sorcerers did a good job. And we're battling sorcerers. Of course, if we come out talking that way from the door, you'd think we're out to lunch. Do you understand? People, it's sort of like our arrogance, our poisonous and toxic self-righteousness has cursed us for quite a few generations. We got to fix it.
Let them know. Islam. Let them know. Let them know. Moorish MC order, I'm a round table sheiks. 7 days in a circle and 52 weeks. Dirty Moors copycat and bite the prophet's speech. I'm El without taking a Hajj like Malik. In a group of solo like Raphael Sadiq. Walking over rappers like stepping over a creek. Exposing you dappers, dressing like Greeks. Showing off cheeks, thong wearing whale freaks. Stuck like a leech, I'm the nerd you kick sand on at the beach. Verbally your face I stand on, back to teach. Learn a lesson as the piano soothes your mood. Lyrical weed, beat brain food, you turn God. Applying what I speak, the truth, they burn and lie through their teeth. Denationalized, jack for all your supplies and knowledge from the high priest on the mental highs. Bringing you light, giving you sight, close your eyes to pray. Get shackled at night, now they're giving you trite. Tales of ox, feed of pigs and soup. You've been bamboozled, tricked, had and duped. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the noose. Won't fight your own fight, but you join their troops. Killing others around the world just to stay out the noose. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. What up, brother Hanif? Use the mic to let them know. This is like Jurassic. They got your birthright. Knowledge is light. They calling you black and you're calling them white. Your name's Mikael and they calling you Mike. Earth shadow is the darkness, they calling it night. Sodom and Gomorrites are called gays and dykes. False education appears real, they calling it fright. Chic on this beat, you're calling it tight. Effects from the roach blunt, calling it heights. With a razor blade on my line, I'm cutting your kites. Rapping blood clot dummies, worry about scuffing the nights. Feminized in tight shirts, showing muscles and ice. Deals, got them acting like the three blind mice. Rhyming for nursery, laying clay for Andrew Dice. I'm pro, you're Joe, the beat is spike. Can't take my flow, you hope I ease it right. I keep it coming like food and ackee, peas and rice. No coleslaw, tonic roots, please, no Sprite. 5 cents for a bag, yo, I don't need it, alright. 65, 35, fam, no need to fight. Studio time paid with knowledge, time to leave the mic. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Use the mic to let them know. The truth about nationality and birthright. Let them know.
Agenda to the T dot massive. Ready for the Gideon Babylon with my shit. We give them what they want so them won't come stash it. We're ready for tech back with things and lash it. Unified is the camp nationality your stamp. When we dealing with the land we talk attaching this man. So who the white man? Who the black man? When the law was written by the brown hand. Inspiration from a universal ram. So they distort the realness and take the film. Keeping world under lock and key. Yo, cameras everywhere watching me. Check it, claim a right to be who I am. Public notice from seas to the land. Who's ready to stand? I am impropia persona. To hell with the fiat and the fake money launderers. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall back. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. It's time for the people to wake to injustices. Under contract, mind for combat. Natural law, enemies got to fall
Let
back.
them know. Use the mic to let them know. Let them know. Operation Rapper Inquisition, moving through the fakeness, hip-hop matrix vision. Back that they will protect him and have his back. Behind on dues by 4 months, going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples, lawsuits from inner fights, not doing their job. 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left the post to be in Gucci stores. We've gotta thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish mic renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer, MC battle scar wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways, rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know what you are, we started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists. To know what you are, we started
They don't know what they're gonna get. Islam Moors, we're here. You already know. Hulk smash every day, all day on Dirty Moors. Every day, all day. Every day, all day. I can't believe we sell seals. I have to talk to Brother Amari about why is he selling seals for 30 bucks. Let's see what's going on. So we're going to do a Q&A today because some questions got sent. So we're going to do Q&A. Should be reasonable. Should be reasonable. Islam to all the Moors worldwide, all the Moors that tune in to active Moors. You know, we don't have to say any more names. We're going back to how we used to do it. Active Moors, 720 Moors, you know what I mean? All the stuff. And on top of that, Hulk smash every day on Dirty Moors. Especially Dirty Moors that talk against stuff to do with Moors. No. People are playing out here. People are playing. Where the hell is it? People are really playing out here. And it's funny because it's like, why would you take the time to mislead our people? What's the purpose of knowing that certain things were put on the record by one of the most brilliant men to ever come amongst so-called black people in America, Noble Drew Ali. And he put so much stuff on the record. He put so much stuff on the record. And it's amazing how people are going to diss. So they're going to say, you know, Aquarian Gospel, Noble Drew Ali stole it from Levi Dowling and all of that stuff because he's the thief, you know. He's the black guy that was studying with all types of Hindu people and people who are really against the black man and all of that. And then he came with this book called The Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, you have to also recognize that even though they would talk BS, this book is the holy book of the Moors. This book is the book that their prophet, you know, like how all the other prophets brought some type of stuff. Some guys came down from mountains with stone pillars for people. Stone tablets, I mean. Right? Some people just sat down and built with people. some prophets wrote books. Because you start realizing that, well, you know, when you tell people stuff, messages, you know, get, you know, broken telephone when you tell people stuff. So you put it down on some type of, you know, medium that others could come and view it for themselves. So there's going to be no mistaking or misinterpreting what's being said, especially if it's coming from somebody who is recognized as a prophet or a forerunner or physical manifestation of a thought of the Most High. So he wrote a book, and these people made their claims that, you know, he did this and that. You never ever hear Moorish Science Temple of America stand up and defend Noble Drew Ali for these people speaking traitorous and slanderous against their prophet, saying that, you know, he himself copied this from a European. Now, let's just say he did copy it from a European. And remember, Levi Dowling would go down as one of those Europeans that all Europeans recognize, say, oh yeah, that guy, he knows some stuff and all that stuff. They rep him, right? No slander campaign against Levi Dowling. He's a god to Europeans. Every European knows about Levi Dowling. Ask these people about Noble Drew Ali, they don't know nothing. But he copied a European that Europeans rep. So let's just say he copied this European. This is what European knows. Chapter 47. Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. That's what Noble Drew Ali said, the prophet who copied a European, because this is a European that said this, right? Because he copied a European. So since he copied this European Levi Dowling, right? Let's see what this European knows. The European knows that the Moabites aren't the, you know what I mean, somebody slept with somebody's daughter and all that BS that people are telling you who the Moabites are, that have you thinking that you have nothing to do with that. And Cain slept with 2 sheep and he's cast out from the world. Nobody should be repping Canaanites because those guys sleep with sheep. Noble Drew Ali didn't talk about none of that. Oh, sorry, not you, Noble Drew Ali. This European that Noble Drew Ali copied, this European that Noble Drew Ali copied, Levi Dowling, Aquarian Gospel, just go look it up, go read all through the stuff, and you'll see everything that he wrote. There's parts of what Noble Drew Ali put in the Quran in the stuff that he wrote. Right, so Noble Drew Ali copied this European. Well, hear what this European said. European knows that the Moabites from the land of Moab received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt. Remember, we're talking about Egypt, which is supposed to be across the Atlantic Ocean, not over here. They inhabited northwest Africa. Remember, this is across the Atlantic. This is not over here. This is across the Atlantic. They were, this is qualifying something. They were is qualifying something about these people called Moabites. That people say are, you know, they're whatever that they are, right? People talk BS about it, and, you know, no more science time people talk up or whatever. They just go along with their business or whatever and say that they rep Noble Drew Ali. They let these people talk BS about him who copied this European, who knows all this. They're not going to defend anything. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. Right? So they're the founders and the possessors. Not the Moabite Empire. The Moabites aren't the founders and possessors of the Moabite Empire. The Moabites, really digest what's going on here. The Moabites from Moab, over there, didn't found a Moabite empire. They do not possess, they did not possess, because of, you know, they slept with some sheep. They possessed because they went to the pharaohs of Egypt. Listen, you need to get, because Egypt knew that since their ancient times, Tahuti, Thoth, remember we're going to deal with the white guys, right? So Thoth had colonies in America. How come the chematologist people aren't telling you that Tahuti had colonies in America? Egyptian colonies in America. How come they don't go there? Why don't they go there? Because it's going to bring up the Moroccan Empire. Their dominion and inhabitation, their dominion, the Moabites and the Canaanites and the Hittites, who nobody wants to deal with, they want to be, you know, 12 tribes of Israel. All misnomers. That's what they want to be. Instead of being their ancient foremothers and forefathers, they want to be misnomers. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from North, East, and Southwest Africa across the Great Atlantis, not Atlantic, across the Great Atlantis. Remember, this is a European that he copied. Even onto the present North, South, Central America, and also Mexico, and also Atlantis Islands. So why is it that some people who are claim to be Moors, but you know, everything they do is under a misnomer, telling you about their name is Turtle Gang and they represent when will Turtle Island be great again? Not claiming their birthright America, not taking America from Donald Trump. They're gonna make up some new stuff. Why don't they want to claim America? Because that's the Moroccan Empire. And if they claim the Moroccan Empire, they're gonna have to give honors to Noble Drew Ali, which none of these punks, sellouts, agents, whatever you want to call them, want to do. They don't want to give the man his props that he deserved for copying this European and putting it in the hands of the Moors. If they want to be Moors. You want to be Negro black colored, then go get shot up and all that stuff, right? A man said, well, he got shot up. Oh yeah, well, you know, he was wearing a FedEx, so I mean, Hulk smash. Sorry, like, why are you in the way? You know it's Hulk smash right now. Get out the way. You didn't stand in the way, you know that it's Hulk smash? Then get Hulk smash then. He was dressed in a FedEx stuff, so he was classified as a Negro. He have no fez on or nothing like that. That's why. if you're gonna bring him up, why he got shot by police. Say, yeah, Moore got shot. No, he wasn't. He was dressed in FedEx, whatever, Pure Later, or whatever the hell he worked for. He wasn't being himself. What does it? Be yourself. You're a member of Morris Science Temple. You're not. You work FedEx. I know Morris that got a job. They wear their fezzes. How many wasn't wearing their fezzes or whatever? More. But they're not going to bring that up. They're not going to talk about none of that. They're going to talk their BS. But while Amari got shot, well, that's their brother. Corin Gaines, their sister. And they're talking BS. Never, ever, ever talk about these Europeans. Never, ever, ever. Matter of fact, they're going to go to SPLC and use them as a reference point. I tell you that Moors are sovereign citizens. Have you abandoned your Moroccan empire? Abandoned. If you abandon, then hey, that means that you're not ever having any intentions of ever claiming this. So whoever wants to make claims, they're going to make claims, and they're making claims. Why? Because you want to be not Americans. You want to be Turtle Island guys. How you repping some Turtle Island or whatever when this is the Moroccan Empire? And then you're talking BS about the Moroccan Empire to push your Turtle Gang DVD BS. And then people are just cool with it. Oh yeah, that was a good fucking DVD and shit. Claps for that shit. Oh shit, that editing was crazy. Yeah, they're talking against the Moroccan Empire. The hell are you talking about? What Turtle Island were you talking about? What's that? What treaty around here with Turtle Island any of these Europeans have to honor that? You talk Moroccan Empire, they know that. I tell you they know that. Because just today, Moabites, Islam to the Moabites, who stands on their nationality and birthrights, went to the highwayman, went into the station. Listen, you guys been stopping me and stuff like that. I just want to put you guys on notice. You got ID or something? I don't got ID. I got proclamation papers right here. So, whatever. I just want to let you know. No, we need ID. Okay, let me see your ID. Well, I don't have to show. Okay, so then why are you asking me for ID? This is my land. Like, what do you mean you don't want to show me, but I have to show you? Okay, well, I have a license. Okay, fine. Let me see your license. What's your name? Well, I'm not going to tell you your name, but my license is the ID. This is the highwayman, who he has oath-bound obligation to give up his stuff. But, you know, shit, man, nothing like that, you know, all right, whatever. Whatever. But I'm just letting you get put on notice of who I am. You know, I'm not these Negroes out here that you guys like to shoot and stuff like that. Well, why are you saying, well, because I'm indigenous. So the Declaration of Rights and all this is from verbatim. This is not from, only thing she has is proclamation papers. That's it. Everything else is coming from just being herself. El Bay. Just being herself. No shot up, no arrests, no whatever. She went put them on notice to their face. What did Noble Jolly say? What are they gonna have? They're gonna have to look death in the face to know what's up. They looked death in the face today and saw life. Imagine that. Imagine you look into death. Somebody they think, oh yeah, Negro, black colored, she has whatever, she has lip gloss on, so she's whatever, black girl. And then she dropped world on him. Made this highwayman take the papers. Like, I will actually read these. You convince me that I'm gonna read these. This is the chief of police in his office. Today, in his office. Somebody who just knows that this is the Moroccan Empire. And the highwayman was like, yeah, I'll take your papers. Oh yeah, and she just came into this info like some 4 months ago. But that's why Noble Jolly said uplift fallen humanity. That's why we could beat these Negroes in the face, because we already know that it's all about waking up mother. Once mother wakes up, you guys don't stand a chance, because mother's going to back everything that we do to you dirty Moors. And that's the only permission that we need. All we need is mother to say it. Just like mother, you ever check, you ever like, anybody who's been watching Canaanland Moors from the jump, right? You know without a shadow of a doubt, these dirty Moors don't come around here, kudos calling them nigger. And that's going to be freaking funny as hell, because, yeah, all jokes aside, mother, so don't forget the Negro book or whatever, who the nigger is. Like, okay, fine, just because you're mother. Just because you're mother, okay, fine. You ever notice they don't say nigger that much and stuff like that no more? Did you see the shift? Or did you miss the shift listening to the BS, the versus BS? Right? Mother. So mother went in there, told the European to his face and all that stuff, hey, listen, she didn't mention Moorish Science Temple, none of that. Moorish, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moroccan Empire, you're a colonist. I'm indigenous. So, just letting you know that when you see me or engage me or whatever, I'm not those Negroes that you guys like to do stuff to. I just want to let you know, and here it is in paper form, I just want to let you know. Alright, no problem. I'm actually going to take your papers and read them. Thank you. Have a nice day. And walked out of the police station. No issue. No getting mad. No problems. Why? Because she has no withdrawal up front. She knows about her nationality and her birthrights. Because she studies, she knows about her nationality and birthrights. And she knows this is her land. What's her land? The Moroccan Empire. Because she's a Moor. So logically, if I'm a Moor, then I'm part of the true possessors and founders of the Moroccan Empire. And that's it. Now what if everybody took that position? What if everybody took that position? Be themselves. What are you? I'm Moorish American. Alright, then just whatever. Yeah, well that's not being yourself. What are you asking about what to do, how to do, whatever? That's why you don't hear certain Moors talking. That's why you're gonna see soon. Soon, watch. Soon you're gonna see. Another one just drop off. And if you didn't get their information when they were out, sorry, too bad. Too bad, so sad. Your dumb ass should have realized what was going on and not get played out of your birthright. Think these Europeans don't know that this is the Moroccan Empire? You think they don't know that this is the land of the Moors that they're in? You keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. And again, it's no big deal to suffer, because I know that I'm a Moor suffering. I'm not black guy suffering. Those guys suffering is, as a Moor, I can suffer and live. It ain't no big deal. It's not really that crazy how people make it. It's not that crazy. Just, only because I know that I'm a Moor. Because I know that I'm a Moor, I'm starting off on an even plane. I have a clean slate because I know that I'm a Moor. So anything that goes on is not going to be on the frequency like, it's expected. Sis knew about the frequency. There's a mother right now. Mother right now just started coming to classes. Her son is putting her on game about some birthrights. Ancestors speak through a youth man. He said some stuff and you know who it was? It was the youth man that was laughing in class like the adults. A couple of classes ago. made a joke about something, and when you heard the laughing, okay, that was him. Now, he's not here. He's not here like right now. He's in some other dimension. He's just in that body, right? Because the things that he would say, things that he would do, his timing and stuff like that. Why are you playing around in that body or whatever? Like, why you come back in that body? Like, what are you trying to do? And then he'll have a reply for you and answer you. Well, you know, I'm trying to whatever, and he'll break down whatever. So it's at that time right now. You know what I mean? Islam to all the Moors, from CMB moving forward, that were truly for this, truly about the birthright, truly about nationality, not about playing no games with people or whatever like that, truly about letting people understand the realness about what Noble Drew Ali brought. All those Moors, because all the work that those Moors put in is manifesting right now. All those Moors unknown, that nobody even knows about, just like today. There's Moors right now, Moors who, you know what I mean, got murdered, Moors who drowned, Moors who died in house fires, Moors who crashed their car, got sent through a window and stuff like that. They had knowledge of self and knew what was up, and it was just time for them, you know what I mean, because they already know, what the hell am I doing here? So I got stuff to do. And went to go do their work. Islam to all those Moors, all the unknowns. Big ashe to the unknowns who were about this, right? Kept that energy going so that we could be here right now, seeing everything play out that they had put in place, seeing everything play out. Everything. People recognizing that, yo, you're a body politic. Islam to rise up the Moors and Jamal and all the other Moors that are taking the position of, this is birthrights. All we have to do is come around each other, put Noble Drew Ali up front, okay, and now let's just exercise as Moors. Why? Because we're dealing with each other on the principles. There's other Moors in other jurisdictions that are dealing with the same principles that we're dealing with. Energy is the same, you know what I mean? Lessons might be different because everybody's going to come with their own whatever, because it's birthrights. It's not some club where I tell you how to teach somebody. Either you're going to know and you're going to do, or, you know, you're not. Could be whatever. Could be, you know what I mean? But everybody's starting to realize that this is about birthright. These people playing games, SF 181 form, and fill that out, that'll make you a Moor. Oh yeah, I became a Moor, I went to the court, and here I got the paper right here, you know what I'm saying? So they made me a Moor, they recognized the Moors. Damn fool. You guys are stupid idiots. You know, we got all the other idiots that have particular platforms, right? Have particular platforms. Because it's funny. It's funny. Like, I was watching something with one of the pills and KT. I was watching something, you know. And I heard KT bring up a Mexo. You know what I mean? And he was trying to, get out of there. And then I heard that, the pill had to stop him. Like, hold on a second, you know what I mean? Like, can't just say a maxim like that and just go into something. Like, no, you have to, break it down. Now, that's supposed to be a key for those people who say that they're conscious, whatever, like that, whatever. Because only Moors say a maxim. Remember, we're not talking about somebody who comes out and says they're Moors or whatever like that. But if they know about a maxim and they're talking about it, trust me, they're Moors. Don't be fooled about the persona. Don't be fooled by the persona. Right? Don't let the persona fool you. Don't let what you see on the screen make you think that's who that is or whatever. In the background, all these people are Moors. Why not? I mean, you know about a Maxim, probably Moors. They're probably Moors. Whether they say it or not, you know what I mean? Which again lets you know that everybody knows, even people in the conscious community know that they're Moors. They might not come out and say it out their mouth, we're Moors and you guys are Moors and we should all just be Moors. They'll just be Moors over here, you know what I mean? And tell you whatever they got to tell you. Right? Which, you know, whatever they're telling you might not be bad, might be good stuff for you to use, but just know that they're Moors. Don't get fooled by the persona. Don't get fooled by the whatever it is that makes you say, oh yeah, that guy's cool, I'm going to watch his classes because, oh yeah, he makes my head throb because the information is so impacting on my psyche that I cannot hold myself, and you go Super Saiyan because you listen to some guy. Alright, know that he's more. That's all we're saying. Just know that they know. Please, trust me. Just know that they know. Know that they know. Please don't take it any other way than knowing that they know that we're Moors. Everybody knows. When are you going to know? Because it's really, forget them if they know that they're Moors. If KT knows about a Maxim and said it, thank you. A conscious guy said the secret A word. Because the secret, you know, whatever word. A Maxim is secret A word. M is a secret Moor word. You know, the words that people don't mention, that Moors always talk about. Well, there's some people out there, as we know right now, you know what I mean? KT gets the wiserhood, right? Gets the wiserhood. Because he put it on the record. Now what? Now what? Valentine put it on the record. Right? Everybody put it on the record. Everybody put it on the record. And we're going to get it put on the record again because you already know that we recognize the campaign going on. Right? We're not here on some we don't know what's going on. Right? We know what's going on. We are hip to the game. Right? Islam to Brother Wasim. Brother Wasim, Copper Pyramid L. The Moors that go in. Every day, all day. All they do is go in. Islam to all the Moors. That are raising up their children on nationality and birthright. Islam to you. You know, that gets the wiserhood. All the Moorish parents out there that's doing what they're supposed to do to make sure that their offspring doesn't be somebody's property. And have them standing up for their birthrights in school, whatever, it doesn't even matter, they're standing up on birthrights. Forget all this BS about this black Negro acts and all that. We're Aboriginal and Indigenous, that's it. Right? So, I knew I was going to get this call, but I didn't know when. So I got a little bit long-winded. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Just know it is what it is. Right? We'll do we'll definitely do another session. There's a lot more. You're somewhere good with service and all that? Alright. Alright, well, 1 second, let me plug you in right here. Peace more.
Peace.
Yes. So as far as questions, all the question people, this might go right to the end, so we'll deal with the questions probably another day this week. But right now, there's a lot going on that more need to be aware of, so that they can realize how serious it is when you start adhering to the principles, right? When you start realizing that, I can't really do this stuff that I'm doing anymore. I have to change. You know what I mean? Like, I can't keep doing the same BS that I was doing. Like you come to a place where it's change or perish. Right? And this, Moore's gonna put it on the record so Moore's could know how real it is, that this can really change your life, and that when your life is changed, especially on the path of claiming your nationality and birthrights as a Moor, Moorish American, Moroccan, Aboriginal, Indigenous, whatever you want to call it, right? That the people who were accustomed to your Negro antics and in favor of that way of life are going to quickly become your enemy, right?
Absolutely.
So, this is, something that came up just because the spirit is really moving for Moors right now. When we went to Seattle, Islam to all the Moors that were at Seattle, when we did what we did out there, this is one of the Moors that, were directly involved in getting me there, right? So this is not just a somebody. This is just somebody who called Kudro and said, I have a story to tell or whatever. And we start playing the Slick Rick music, dun, 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 and then he's going to tell his children's story, right? This is like somebody who I was in the car with, at the house with, ate food with, had all these crazy experiences that Moors always have once they get together, you know what I mean? Something just happens in the ethers, you know what I'm saying? Right? So know that this is really real. This is really, really real, right? So when you introduce yourself, the first part that I want to make sure that people really understand is where it is you come from, right? And not too long, because you already know how they do, right? But trying to use certain things, right? So not too long, but how involved, you know what I mean, you were as far as this thing, and why the transition, and then we can go from there.
All right. First off, I'd like to give thanks to all our ancestors, mothers, and all the Moors out there. Peace and love, called Moor. Failed me, Elmore Bay. And, man, I started studying science from the sister, passed it along to me, and came up here, brought it to the brother, Raji, and we got into the books, man. I was in that law library, every day, and just coming from the, walk of life that, one come from, and that they was accustomed to seeing me, in and out of their courts for, different things, taking their little pleas. They wasn't used to seeing the new, me, like coming in there, with a fez on, standing on my square, basically, speaking about, just speaking, law, and not really too much saying too much at all, but just, letting my paperwork precede me, just as, studying the site would say, like a lot of people would say, oh, you one of the Marvin Bay Moors, whatever, all that talk, you got the temple, the brothers that go to the temple, I don't know, like, why they like to call it the division, but for some reason they do, and it's crazy, because that's the problem, like, there's too much jealousy still, and they don't want to have the unity that we supposed to be having right now at this time, 2018, or 437, if you will. 1437, if you will, excuse me. However, excuse me for rambling on, but once I declared my nationality, brother, it was like they just flipped a whole different script, and they sent. It took a little time or whatever. I was catching the train from Los Angeles back here to Seattle, and they had approached me at the Amtrak, and I had my nationality travel card and whatnot, and the guy had asked me, where'd you get this from? And I'm like, I got this from, this is a family brief. What do you mean? Well, why? What's going on? This is my identity. He's like, okay, cool. So he like, boom, get on the train. I get on the train, come back home. A couple of days later, the so-called FBI or whatever, they come pick me up. Some day ask me, what's this? You walking around with a fez on, you got a turban, but you trying to fight for ISIS or whatever. I'm like, ISIS? I'm like, crazy. So the whole time, this is a so-called FBI agent. And so when I talk to him, I just stand on my square. I ain't going to get into everything, I just talk, basic principles and about, what's basically what the prophets say. And at the end of the day, brother, the man just said, I thought I was coming in here to, talk to a nigger, like, some of the stuff that I see on, basically he didn't use that term, but he said, what I see on paper, I'm expecting to see that. But I see that you a changed man. He like, I bow down to you. Like, if you can go, in his words, verbatim, like, if you can go to Chicago and, like, change that, I'm like, look, man, I can't change no man. I only can change myself. He bowed down to me, and he like, man, keep doing what you're doing. And he left. But it just so happened, when I did a discovery, is what the situation was, Cujo. I got the paperwork which showed all of the transcripts that led up to that incident. And it was because they had sent out a memo saying something about the brother with the turban on and or whatever walking around. So they, I don't know, how these people act weird, and it turned to that. But at the end of the day, all is well.
Right. Now, when we talk about engagements with the colonizer, right? Now you're talking about on being on both sides of the fence, if you will. Having the both sides of the experience. Like, speak to what confirms to you that this is not some terrorist whatever, or this is not some, because I have a turban that means I'm Islamic or whatever. Like, what?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, because it's just a difference, because, it's like, for one, an example or an experience, like when you go in the bank, or like they say, the little room or whatever, if you got a hat on, beanie, whatever, they're going to tell you to take that off. You got your turban on or it says, they won't say anything. It's like when you, when you study and you put in the work and you just basically break down the things that they say and just give it back to them and just stand on those principles, all they can do is just try to threaten you and see where your breaking point is. But at the end of the day, when they know you ain't really done nothing and you standing up for what's what, they're gonna give you what's yours.
Right. So with the reclamation of who you are, you had to abandon, like the old self, making the transition from the lower self to the higher self, right?
Right.
Because the claims that they're making against you with regard to, because you wear a turban, or because you have a fez, or you speak a certain way, we know that they have BIE and SPLC and these people who's been presenting this idea about, the sovereign citizen, anti-government, extremist idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How is it that this is not that?
How is not that?
Yeah. But the thing that they say that it is, for example, it's like when we have...
it doesn't even matter what they say it is. And they're not... it's I mean, it's hard to explain, brother, for real, because it's just, from my experience, is they know that this is something different. As you said, you mentioned one time in the video, like, they know the difference between real Moors and Moors who just say that they Moors. You know what I'm saying? That just use this to try and get out of something. You know, they know the difference. Like, they look at everything in the way that you present yourself. Like, is he just trying to say this because they see people coming here all the time and just say, oh, I'm a Moor with it. They do the same tactics that they'll do to me, then try it on me, and just see how far you know what I'm saying? Okay, this dude's for real. He know what you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so they adhere to the principles at the end of the day. Because like I was telling you, when I went in there, like prior times, because I don't go to court, I have nothing but FTAs. And so at the end of the day, I posted the bail just because I wanted to get out. So I put the cash up. Normally they wouldn't even give the money back. And when I went in there, because I had sent my writs in, and I had filed another writ of removal. I removed the other case from the district to the federal and put the lien on the prosecutor. And so when I went in there, I mean, everything was just different. And the dude was just like, oh, I didn't have to say nothing. He was like, oh, last time you was in here, you asked about the exoneration of the money. He's like, I already did that. He's like, we're not here to argue nothing. Because like I told you, I'm like, hey, we need to have a status here. And he was like, oh, we're not here to argue nothing. He's like, you just come back on this day. And we were just real fast. And so, gave me the little paper and I got up out of there. But like I said, I don't want to put too much of, my open situation still on the record like that.
Right.
Still, active, but.
Yeah. Because the point that, leading up to, the next one is stressing the point of how much this is not connected to, this extreme idea. You know what I mean?
Nah, they know for a fact that it ain't nothing. I don't know how to explain it in terms of coming from another perspective of someone else thinking, but from my own perspective, my own experiences is and from where I come from in dealing with these people, and as much as I've been dealing with them all my life, before I became conscious of who I am and, what the law is and what it pertains to, and, my relationship to this whole plane, as a whole. So it's just different, brother. It's just like they know, because they just know.
No, is the are the things from the things of the past? Is that something you talk about openly?
You said the things of the past?
Yeah. Like with regard to even what's coming up ahead, like is it something to bring up, or is this something that they might be able to edit out and use or something like that? As far as the past.
It's just the situation that I had, brother, was with as you remember, I had sent you the video when I was filming the policy man or whatever. But remember, I told you this when I was like, fresh. I had just I was still on some hot head stuff, and I was just trying to, pop, like the mother had already checked me in, like, when I had explained to her the situation, like, yeah, you did a little bit too much, and I know I was, whatever, on some other stuff. At the time, I wasn't operating in my higher self.
Right.
And, I did a little things out of character a little bit in that video, so that's what made it, it was just irrelevant to me.
Right. Now, for people who might be listening that are in that lower place where you were at before you transitioned with the declaration, because as far as when we read the literature, lower self is many things, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
So your perspective that you're bringing of making the transition, I'm looking at it like is going to assist others who are in their lower self, because it's the same thing. It's just a different lane, but it's on the same street. So talk about the transition from, the old you into this new you, especially with regard to, your past relations with them in their courts and all that stuff, and then the transition and now how the relation is different?
Yeah, well, previously I was going there, you know, with a turnover, a private turnover or whatever, and always taking pleas, first of all, and like he had put it with a little pop pretender tried to ask me before, like, man, what happened to you, man? Like you would just come in here and take pleas, like, what? How long you been studying this? And he's like, man, you went from 0 to 60 real fast, like trying to, you know, just pop off or whatever. But for me, I just come from a different lifestyle. That, well, I don't, you know, want to go into it in terms of all that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, for me, as telling someone else that's listening, this is like, you have to be ready. And it's like, this is nothing that's physical. Like, it's spiritual, Mo. You have to open your mind and be acceptable to learning new things. And you just got to get rid of all the old and just, if you was raised with, you know, certain beliefs and dogmas or whatever, you got to shake all that and just open your heart and your mind and try to understand, you know, what's really going on and really study. But at the end of the day, I understand, like, as far as my transition, I had a couple of people around me, like, you know, we study together, and I know other people out there don't have that, you know, and it's hard to, you know, kind of like, dang, it's not working, like, they doing this and doing that. It ain't about what they do if you having a situation. It's about you and getting yourself right, because that's all what it's dependent on. At the end of the day, it's your spiritual vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't even matter what you say when you go in them places or just in life in general. You have to get yourself right within and face your demons and be really for real with that when you say that that's what you want to do. When you want to look forward and put all that to rest and move forward, and you will vibrate on a whole different vibration. I mean, from my experiences.
Right.
And so, you know, as far as with the courts, it's just like I can just tell. I see the fraud and I see the difference, because when you ask certain questions to put them in certain situations, you know, they act a whole different way. Because most people go in there and they want to play their game, but it's always either a contempt or they're not even going to talk too much. Like I say, they're going to say a couple things and say, hey, can you come back? And if there's people in there, because they try to get me there first, as you know, or last.
Right.
So, I mean.
Now what? One other thing, because I was talking about it earlier too. Getting checked by the mothers. Getting checked by the mothers, right. And then realizing what the error was. You know what I mean? And then moving on from there. You know.
Yeah.
How important was that, as far as, you know, recognizing what the hell you did? You know what I mean? That was an error for you to, because a lot of people don't want to accept that they got themselves arrested.
Right.
Or you know what I mean, they got themselves, you know, not getting the tax off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of glitches in the matrix that happen to people. So talk about what it means to recognize it and then to move on from there.
Well, yeah, I love, you got to be willing to accept constructive criticism when it's in love as well, when you recognize your fault. And like, you know what I'm saying, it said, you create your own situations more, you know what I'm saying, whether it's negative or positive, because it's your action that's to the react, whatever the, you know what I'm saying, cause is.
Mm-hmm.
Cause and effect. So, you know, I realized I sat back, because I was just, you know, like I said, this was 4 years ago, and I was all on the hyped up and about it, and they like, look, you know, you got to calm move, and I'm like, I got this law, so I got them, but it wasn't even all like that. So the whole process, when I seen how I was coming, they kept, you know, rejecting me or whatever. It was like, kind of like putting me down like in a depressed mode, and I like have to function. Like, okay, man, the mother's something like, look, man, this is what you woo, you feel me? So
right.
I did what to do, and I got it right, and it's, yeah.
Now there's a couple of things that, you know, are out there floating. the idea of Moors being citizens of the U.S. and the idea that the U.S. and United States and all these things are interchangeable things that make you a citizen. Are like why can't you subscribe? Being that you're a Moorish American, why can't you subscribe to being a citizen of U.S.?
I mean, there's so many reasons. I mean, 1754, my people was not a part of that. I mean, 1754, I mean, there's just so many different things that go into the history and just the fact. And like, as we talk about on a personal level, like I know I got paperwork from my grandfather, and I know where my peoples come from and all that, but this is just something that I have, and I see him testifying before what they call Supreme Court, and he was telling them basically, you know, he wasn't a U.S. citizen, and it wasn't even in question. And he basically told them, you know, nah, I just come to the territory to work. That triggered right there. That was like a trigger, like boom, I was able to put two and two, like, together to it. Then and now, like, okay, why? I see. And he's like, I'm Cherokee. Woo, you know, I just come here to work. So I'm like, all right, I already see what was going on then to what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's like they say, a separate but equal. But nah, man, this is the Moroccan Empire, brother. Like, whoever, I mean, these dudes is crazy, man.
No, talk on it, because that's another part, too.
I mean,
that's tied to it.
It just is what it is. They don't study, brother. That's just what it be. They like to, like all the brothers say. So everybody say, man, they like to watch these videos and then watch it from there and get around other people and have a think tank and build off each other's thought. They don't go read no books, man, and really have no evidence. They got too much time trying to criticize your videos. Mm-hmm. You can tell. You know what I'm saying? Right. But at the end of the day, bro, when you read and you find out things, like we always talk about, if that place over there that they call Morocco on the continent of Africa, right, was Mauritania up until 1956, and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship was written when? Okay, right. Between who? So can somebody else another nation give somebody power to go do business on a whole other soil? Absolutely not. That's case in point that the power was right here. Because if that was the case, China owned them all day long to be giving the, hey, go run the corporation over there on the land over there called the United States. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, it's just common sense when you think and you put too much effort. But, I mean, hey, who am I?
Yeah,
who am I to judge?
You can lead a horse to water, right?
Right.
Straight. With regard to the online university, RV Bay Publications, how did you maneuver the site when you first started using that as a source?
That's crazy. That's like the site, man. That was like, man. I mean, we saying a site. That's family over there, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like where they have information. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, to me, that's not like a site. It's like if you utilize the information for what it's worth, you know, and you put it to where it should be put, you good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. RV Bay was the greatest thing that ever happened to me, Todd. I mean, learning the information from the prophet. I was blessed enough to have a conversation with the Magi Hannibal Bay. I met, you. I was Sabir Bay, so many times, and it just changed my life, brother. From where I come from, the walk of life that I come from, it made me, want to continue to go on, man. Mm-hmm. Because I've been around a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I came from the East Side, LA as a baby. Grew up in the wild woods of Inglewood, all over, you know what I'm saying? Really all over LA. And going all over the so-called United States, you feel me?
Yeah.
And ended up here in Seattle, or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever I did. I lived over in Spokane a little bit of time or whatever too, a couple of years. But at the end of the day, Mo, it was life-changing, brother.
For real.
And them people was, those are good people over there. Everybody who's associated with the family, like, it's good unity. And it's like a lot of people you know, they get angry or whatever, if you will, because I've had people have they complaints to me, people that I've turned on that walked away or whatever. It's just like we always say, they just feel like somebody. It ain't that I get they cry. It's like they don't feel like somebody got to do something for them, but they feel like they have to have somebody there with them while they doing what they doing.
Yeah.
Like people have the lack of comparability of doing things with their own abilities.
Right. Now, what do you think? What do you think that stems from? That you know that paralysis. You know what I mean?
Just being dependent, dormant, unconscious, and being dependent upon somebody else to do something for you, and being unindependent. But sometimes, like I say, like there's been times that I reach out, because like I done got into situations like I call you, like, oh man, like if I see something that I feel that you might have already experienced, like let me get your experience, because I'm an empirical person. A lot of the time, that's why I done got myself in a lot of situations in trouble, because I got to, get the experience from my own.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm like, hey man, you already know, let me get that little info. Like, so I done reached out to a couple people, like, man, just, going through it, stressed out, because I get my low points, to have my low points as a Mo, get them too all the time. Like, damn. And it's good that I got a lot of people that I still can reach out to at times, but everybody ain't always, we just, there's a lot of stuff going on, Mo. For me, I don't feel that we are where we really supposed to be and where we should be. It's because of all this other things, like the temple Mo, all that, like that's BS, man. Everybody, just because you say you're a Moor and he say he a Moor, you should be with that, Mo.
Right.
Telling no goddamn policy man to go arrest your brother. That's some sellout shit if you talking about who some fucking sellout is, or some dirty, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Right.
Anything, excuse my brother, anything another Moor is doing, long as he ain't out there raping nobody, doing no BS, hurting no children, disrespecting no elders and nothing like that, brother. If that man know he a Moor, saying he a Moor, like, come on, you gotta represent that.
Right.
But or no violating the principles of the prophet at the end of the day. Because as you know, we know what you are leaders on this side.
Straight up. Now what? And lastly, if you don't have anything else, but what about the the temple makes you a Moor idea? Because I know you also had some interactions with Moor Science Temple that was kind of funny, not really in the line of unity.
Yeah, man, it's just the whole idea of that is just ludicrous, man. It's just crazy that you would say that you have to sign up a piece of paper to be blood, to be my friend, to be my family. Like, I mean, that shit don't make no sense. Like, I gotta fill out a paperwork for we to be family, we friends. Like, I've never done that in life. I got hella friends for years. We ain't never signed no paperwork to say that we trust each other and we down with a cause.
Right.
Like, that's some BS. So, like, I mean, it's like the problem is we started thinking like the colonists.
Straight
Like,
up.
you started dropping down. I mean, just go back to that. Like, that's crazy, Mo. Like, we family, man. It ain't no damn paperwork, ain't no building. We can meet up in the house and all that. That's cool, have all that, but run it the right way. We good. And I know there's a lot of Moors out there do that, got the temples, but we supposed to be together. It should be no freaking unity. I mean, no separation.
Yeah.
There should be no infighting, especially at this time, Mo.
Straight.
And really, for real, forever, no more. That's the first principle is love. What people mad for? I don't get it.
They mad at something.
It's crazy, Mo. It's something in the...
Straight. Well, I don't know if you have anything else to add, if you want to throw some shout-outs out there or whatever, but, give thanks for putting it out, because I know you're, you're probably pulling another all-nighter tonight.
But like I was saying, before I had got RB Bay, Mother Roz, Annie the L, Mary, all the family over there, you family, Todd. That's I was fortunate to talk to the brother before, blessed, and it's everybody, Mo. Leo, I've studied with other Moors that I've met. My brother out there, man, and out there in the Texas Republic, man. It's a lot of good family member out there, man. We just need to start embracing each other, man, and showing love, really, for real, focusing on that first principle, because that's going to solve everything as far as our problem go, and we need to just be dealing with each other. and everything else is going to be, corrected within that wavelength.
Right.
So, I just like to say, peace and love to all the Moors out there. We gonna get there. We almost there.
Straight up. All right, Moor. Well, give thanks, yo. And
all right, peace and love, Moor.
We'll definitely build soon.
Yep, Islam.
Islam, Moor. So trust that these people know. Trust that you better stand up for your birthright. Better stand up for your birthright. You know what I mean? Because that's all we got. We ain't got nothing else. Nothing else. Like, nothing else? All we got is nationality and birthrights. That is insane. Right. Brother Eli sent make sure you watch 1 hour of ancient Egyptian music on YouTube. All the copper pyramid Moors. Get it in. That would be a crazy vortex. Pyramid music. Or ancient Egyptian music, I mean. Brother Yeshua, Islam fam, I know this is sort of not relevant. Remember, class, understand something, okay? Unless I tell you live questions and then you send something, right? This email doesn't open until class day. All right? What did we start off talking about today? And then remember, this email only opens on class day. If it's not class day, I don't look in this email. All right? I know this is sort of not relevant. Just because he put that, he sent this 3 days ago, January 27th. Right? Just because he put that, you have to open your mind, like the boy was saying. You have to open your mind and you have to accept certain things. You really can't be playing that you're still not being Moors. Please. Don't tell me that you're still not being Moors, because that's all it's about right now. If you aren't, then you're off the path. You're so far off the path that nobody's finding you in them bushes. You're done for. Something's gonna grab you sooner or later. Islam fam, I know it is sort of not relevant, but I keep hearing people make comments that Moroccans and the kingdom don't recognize us as Moors. I personally walked into the consulate office in NYC, and they were not at all confused about my position and even offered me the information on how to obtain a nationality card from them. This was 5 years ago. I never got the card. I don't even have the card issued, but all of my activity has been purely standing on the truth of the matter. It must be stated that I was with my little bro who lives in Norway and who was visiting me in NYC. He is a native of the Kingdom of Morocco. The email was inspired by a recent Abdullah video of a class at the House of Ram. I noticed someone questioning the outside world, not dealing with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and some confusion around where the treaty had been signed, etc. I felt as though the confusion was not directly squashed. It was dismissed as not important. I understand not seeking approval from anyone but self, but it is as simple as just being direct and to the point with some things, so time is not wasted. Again, thank you for your ear. Right? So it's a matter of fact. And again, remember that, Moors build, Moors go to classes, Moors doing lectures or whatever like that. And one of the lessons that the master teacher, been saying for years is that don't think you're getting all the stuff out of some lecture. Don't think you're going to come to some 3-hour lecture and you leave with, you know what I mean, a notebook of notes that you got something. You didn't get, you didn't get anything, right? Whatever you're going to get, you're going to dig up. Nobody's sifting your soil, right? You're going to find your own fool's gold and all that type of stuff out there before you find the real deal, right? We're putting it out so that you know that this is not just a Cujo thing or a Taj thing or a RV Bay thing. This is a thing that is worldwide. This is worldwide, where we're at. Not where Moorish Science Temple people are at. Where we're at, this is world knowledge that everybody in the world knows. If we get a Moorish Science Temple of America member, Inc., reincarnated prophet, naturalizer, whatever, just a member, just pick somebody out, bam, that guy, and bring him. And we take an active Moor. Active Moors, put your hands up. You, come here. And we put them in front of international community people, right? The active Moor is going to have everybody on his side, and the Moor from the temple is going to be trying to convince them that they don't know what they're talking about because they didn't come to the temple. Now, you know, the odds are already in Asiatics' favor, not the temple's favor, so, you know, why don't you just get down with everybody else? But no, they don't want to do that. They're going to play like, you know, standoffish. Moorish Science Temple, this is what it's about. If you're not part of this, then you don't know what you're talking about, and no, that's not really what's going on. So Islam more for putting it out there, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to learn everything out of lecture. So sometimes, you know, somebody unexpected that you might not think, you know, because you didn't see him on a video or on a stage, you think he's not adept or he doesn't study or he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Don't be fooled by the persona. Do not be fooled by the persona. That's all. Just don't be fooled by the persona. Don't get caught up. Right? Do not get caught up. As soon as you get caught up, you play yourself. As soon as you get caught up, you play yourself. Because you fell for the okie doke. You're not supposed to fall for the okie doke. You Moorish American fall for the okie doke. Persona got you? Some guy, he had a feather in his fez and that made you say, oh wow, that's amazing. That guy's amazing. He has a feather in his fez. That guy's the special guy. So Brother Ray L sent nationality cards. August 7th, 1925, that could be. Because you know, we got these altered documents. You're playing around. It doesn't even say 19, it says 102:25 or something. I don't know. This is weird. So it reads, this is your nationality and identification card for the Moorish Science Temple of America and birthrights for the Moorish Americans, etc. We honor all divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. May the blessings of the God of our Father Allah be upon you that carry this card. I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I am a citizen of the U.S.A. 3603 Indiana Avenue. That was one nationality card. Or that one was 25. And this one is 1926. This is your nationality and membership card for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and birthrights for Moorish Americans, etc. We honor all the prophets, Muhammad and Jesus. May the blessings of the gods of our Father Allah be upon you that carry the card. I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Noble Drew Ali, founder, 29 East 36th Place, Chicago, Illinois. And no U.S.A. Now remember, both of them were doctored, because the top one, the date part, is looking kind of, doctored. Looks like somebody took out a little piece right there, and that really is supposed to be an 85. But, 3603 Indiana Avenue wasn't around in 1985. So, both of them do have Islam, unity, and Allah on it. Islam, unity, and Allah. Right. And again, the USA is the unity, which is the handshake. Islam, which is the salvation, and Allah, USA. Because if you're American citizens, trust, you're not U.S. citizens. You can't be both. You can't be an American citizen and a U.S. citizen. And if you are an American citizen, then you're a citizen of your own nation. That's why Noble Drew Ali told you Asiatic states in the convention records. But they're never going to go there and bring up the Asiatic states. If the states are Asiatic, if the states were Asiatic, then what U.S.A. citizen are you talking about? What American citizen are you talking about? You're talking about being part of your own stuff if you're saying that you're that. If you're a citizen of unity, salvation, Allah, if you're a citizen of that, then that means you're a divine citizen. Because Allah and man are one. If you're an American citizen, then you're a citizen of the Asiatic states or the Barbary states. Just go ask these Moors in the Moorish Science Temple of America for the convention minutes. Noble Drew Ali told the Moors that they are a nation. You are Asiatic states. What's the argument about? Like the Moor was saying, where's the unity? We got Asiatic states. What Moorish Science Temple are you talking about? Noble Drew Ali wasn't at the convention, said, now you are Moorish Science Temple. No, he said you are a nation. If you're a nation, before you're a Moorish Science Temple, then obviously the people who are claiming that they're Moorish Science Temple and not the nation are on a reserve, which is what Moroccan's temple would be, if they're claiming that that's who they are. That made them a Moor. That's a reserve, if that's the case. Why would Moroccan's Temple of America be a reserve? Oh yeah, because it's ink. Because no different than the Indian stuff and all the other people who claimed that, you know, they're part of, yeah, we're going to do treaties with you guys because you guys are the government, and play their self. And everybody who's following them out of their right that they had at birth, that now they don't have because they abandoned it because they didn't want to be divine citizens. You can't be a national citizen without being a divine citizen. You can't be part of the national movement and not be part of the divine movement. If this is a divine and national movement, then that means the divine is a movement and the national is a movement. This movement is national and this movement is divine. So there's two movements. That's why I told you about your lower self and your higher self. And lower self is not, you know what I mean, necessarily evil. Because compared to divine, the lower self will be earth. As above, so below. So below is the lower self. You're not mad at that. You're not calling that the devil. So below is the lower self. As above is the higher self. Like the more said, you know, common sense. You don't need no sheiks, sit down with some sheiks in the Sunday school Moroccan's temple to know that. Think, that's all. Be yourself. I mean, there's Moors we knew that were illiterate. Taught themselves to read because they started studying. Because they started studying, they had to look up words, know what I mean. You look up words, you have to know letters, teach yourself letters, then you start making words, and then when you read, it makes sense. Moors who were illiterate, up until they said nationality and birthright, some are Moor. Okay, go read a book, Moor. Can't read. Well, you better learn, because you got all these books right here to read. If you want to know about being a Moor. And trust me, those Moors, they don't budge from that. They're Moors. None's making them not be Moors. Remember, these people were illiterate. Illiterate. Cannot read, write, nothing. Got hold of Noble Drew Ali and Moorish information. Now the blind man can see. Because the Lord God Jesus touched his eyes, now he can see. You really think that was a blind man? You don't know blind man. The man who was in his lower self. He was in darkness. And then he got the marvelous light. So he saw. Eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. Carrying out the law and all that. Shalom, brother. Hope all is well. I went to visit a temple today, then to our regular civic meeting. What I'm struggling with is the paperwork and my nationality cards. I've already put all agencies on notice, and not one of those vampires responded. Now the sheik is telling me I have to pay taxes and correct the social security number. I don't want to use the straw man name with no suffix. My paperwork says Free National. If I couldn't have LB, why didn't they tell me before I filed my paperwork? I use LB, and how could anyone tell me what to call myself? Now, that is the mindset. If you stood as LB, Alday, whatever, you said, you know what, Almore, this is my name. And then you start exercising as that, and you're exercising as that, and you're, you know, stuff is happening, and things are going however it goes, and it's going good. And then you get paperwork, cards, right to travel card, no tax card, whatever the card, whatever it is from whoever. And then they're saying, well, those are 2 titles. You don't need 2 titles. You could have 2 titles if you want to, but if we're going to be giving you something, it's not going to be 2 titles. You have to pick a title. If you are and have been exercising as LB, right? Do you think it would make a difference if you started saying L or B when you've been using both of them? Just think about that. Don't think about, I've been doing this LB for 10 years. Think about, if I say L tomorrow, or if I say B tomorrow, would I get the same response from them, or would they think something, you know, whatever? And then, you know, give me a shout, and we'll build after you think about that. Because, yeah, you know, you're right. I mean, who's going to name you? It's your name. It's your title. It's your appellation. It's your correction. And you call yourself something. So, that's who you should be. True. If I've been telling them, you know, I could do right hand layups, I could do left hand layups. Ain't nothing. Shoot left, shoot right. And defender comes and he shuts off the one side. Are you going to keep forcing on the side that he shut off? Or are you just going to switch and just do it all day? You keep that side if you want to. You got this side all day. Just think about it. Brother Hootie, peace more. Here in Canaanland, these businesses were fighting over who is more responsible, the Canadian people or the representatives of the Canadian people. However, the representatives of the Canadian people are noted to be those in the British Parliament until this day, to the same effect of how many in South America are fighting with businesses that have their own agenda and are claiming to be government when they are not the people. I am still not comprehending how people don't ask why and how does a government shut down. At no point do the people ever stop breathing, even when they are sleeping, but yet the government shuts down. Ha! Islam, Moorish Divine National Movement. Exactly. And, you know, the people just are asleep, you know. Watching a good run right now. Van Helsing. Van Helsing, you know, all the zombie stuff is just, and notice the transition of the zombie. Now the zombies, you know what I mean? They got knowledge and stuff like that. They could set up a trap to catch you and all that type of stuff. Zombies are going in right now. Zombies have become intelligent. Not as dragging the foot and all that stuff. This man dragging the foot still on some high science. How come the zombies evolving and our people still dumb? How come the zombies know that, okay, we all can't just, go at a time. So everybody play dead. And when they get close, why? How come the zombies are getting more evolved and our people are still dumb? Zombies evolving, these people still dumb? Who's really the zombie? Who's really the zombie? Who's really the dead person? If the zombies could have a conversation with somebody who got bit by a girl who her blood could turn all the zombies back to humans. And she bit a zombie. Zombie turned back to a human and went to the other zombies and said, hey, she's gonna turn everybody back. The zombies are like, okay, we're on here. What do you mean the zombies are like, nah, we don't want to deal with her. We're just gonna go over here and try to find some dead people. We don't want to engage this girl. Really? Zombies know that much? And our people, they're dumb. Dumb. Islam to Moors abroad and those amongst the borders. Moors were building 3 classes ago, and a Moor brought out info on the treaty between Britain and Moors. Came across Treaty of Peace and Trade. I'm certain there are many more treaties. Oh, there's many more treaties. And it was last re-established in Fez, January 23rd, 1721. It was last established when King George II was running colonies in the Americas for Britain's agenda as a British colony. My point for this is for the fact that King George II was a Moor. You can get the facts in the Negro Question, Part 6, The 13 Black Colonies. Colonies by Lee Cummings. Great book and edition. I am not black. Big up to brother Tesba Bey for raising that up in the minds of the Moors in Canaanland Temple. Once we set the truth of the fact that the de jure rulership does not exist because it's expressed through the people, obviously we know that one cannot present oneself of a movement and operate on individualism. These foreign governments, which are corporations, are of their agendas. So we'll stick to the agenda of our foremothers and forefathers, which stand upon nation and birthrights, that has been issued from the last prophet to remind and defend these things. That's why I love you Moors, Moors that are of the National Divine Movement, Islam. Islam. Peace to all the Moors in the chat, beating them up in there. Keep beating them up. We beat them up with silence. And let them talk to themselves like some dumbasses. Just let them talk to themselves. Oh, another reference. Let's see what this is. Okay, we'll answer that one after. email. Islam to brother Thomas L. Because Amor saw a custom private property sign and it reminded him of the Moor. Remember, we don't. Okay, no, let's just see here. I just want to show you how real it is. It's so real. Right? So at 7:01, Brother Thomas L. called me and I didn't answer because we were in class. And then the Moor sends an email giving honors to Thomas L. Remember, I don't check this. This was sent 20 hours ago. I only checked this on class day. I didn't check this yet when Thomas L. called. When I say questions, that's when I check. How is it that a Moor... Okay, Thomas L. called me 7:01. And then a Moor who heard Thomas L. on, pardon the interjection, is saying, Islam, Thomas L. Yeah? And Thomas L. just called, say, so Thomas L., the Moor said Islam, just want to let you know that the message got through and, you know what I mean? You know, we are the engines. We can do the smoke signals and all that stuff. Don't worry, we got this. We got this. Right? Only the active Moors are on the frequency. Everybody else, they don't know what is going on. Everybody else, including people wearing turbans and fezzes. Oh yeah, and I can't forget to do this before. Can't forget to do this. Where is it? So, my good sister, good sister, known her for years. Inceptioncreatrix. Awaken the divine within. Awaken the divine within. She's been grinding. Reiki infused crystals, bracelets and malas. Energetic technology for the healing journey within. Now, shongite, the stone of healing and protection, removes negative energies and thought forms, provides powerful psychic protection to the wearer, restores emotional balance and increases personal power, boosts energy and normalizes sleep, catalyst for growth and transformation, and as such assists one in evolving spiritually. Right, so we're going to put the number out so you can get your stuff, right? So this was the joint that I got done, right? I had the ankh with the tiger's eye, and I told the sis to set me up. She said, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, you already have the ankh, so you don't have to have the mala that powerful. You know what I mean? The mala doesn't have to be straight shongite. So she said onyx, so I call this the shonix, right? So the shonix has the shongite beads, right, down here, and then the onyx up here, right? So the first day that I got it, this is the first day, you know what I mean? Put it on, she's like, oh, I feel the energy or whatever, you know what I mean? Going in on her stuff, because she's an energy worker and all that. So she's going in on the thing. So I go downstairs to the staff room. So we're in the staff room, and you know when they, you know, after school they say put the chair on the table, you know, rest the seat on the table and the legs sticking up, right? So there's 2 rows of those, right? She's in there and another lady's in there. The European's in there, right? Walking, and it's like it's like I felt myself hit the chair before I hit the chair. So I already knew that the chair was going to fall, so I did like this with my hand. And when I looked, the chair was in my hand, right? And because it was falling, the momentum like took me and I, you know, and both of them turned around, and she's looking at me like, and I'm like, okay, you told me. I'm like, you told me, okay, you told me. I'm like, all right, you told me. You told me. So that's my testimonial with the powers of the stuff. That it's real. It is real. All right. So you can email. IG is inceptioncreatrix. So make sure you do the whatever on IG to follow or whatever it is that they call it. At inceptioncreatrix, CREATRIX. And you could let her know I told you the story about the chair so she can verify. Right? Just so you know that it's not even some fronting. Right? Sister Sanya, SANYA. inceptioncreatrix @gmail.com. INCEPTIONCREATRIX @gmail.com. Reiki infused crystals, bracelets, and malas. Trust me. Because it wasn't until something said, do this. But I felt it. I felt the chair. I felt the chair get hit. And I saw the chair falling, but it didn't happen yet. And I just went like this with my hand. And I looked, and the chair was like just waiting there to be grabbed. It was like a freeze or something. It was like, I don't know, it was weird. Like supernatural, remember etymology of weird, whatever, right? And then I looked, and then they were looking at me like, you know, the European lady, she's like, wow, some reflexes or whatever, you know, and Sanya's there just looking at me. I'm like, oh, I see your reflexes are up. It's like, yeah, it must be this stuff I'm wearing. You know, so we had a good joke all day about that, the chair. So it's definitely real. It is definitely real. You know what I mean? Now, if you're, you know, too low or whatever, I don't know if it'll work that way. You know, we already know that we're on certain frequency as far as Moors are concerned, so we got the benefit of, you know, the ancestors working in favor of us. Not the privilege, we have the benefit of it. Brother Navi Bey, once again, Webster's New World Dictionary with Student Handbook, Young People's Edition. Oh boy, let's see what the young Europeans, let's see what they know. Let's see what the young Europeans get taught, the books that they got. In 1787, the newly written Constitution of the United States was an unusual document. Not only was it the first written national constitution since ancient times, it was also the first to set up what is called the federal system. Under this system, sovereign power comes from the people. Some government powers are given to the national government, others to the states. This was a very different system than the one which the new nation had been governed since the end of the American Revolution in 1781. The Articles of Confederation left nearly all the power in the hands of the states. They could cooperate in the central government or ignore it if they choose. Many people opposed to the new form of government, but eventually its strongest supporters, known as the Federalists, won out, and by 1789, all states had ratified, quote quote unquote, approved the Constitution. So that's for them. That's to keep them in check. That's to keep them in order. That's your shield when they start swinging their baton. That's your shield. The Constitution. And the oath that they took, that if you get Brother Mario's book, it's in the book, the judge's oath is in there. So you know they have oaths. Right? Civics today. Citizenship, economics, and you. Civics today. Citizenship, economics, and you. What is civics? And then they have a big picture at the bottom of quote unquote natives doing some tribal dance. Ancient roots. Civics is the study of the rights and duties of citizens. The concept of citizenship dates back more than 25,000 years to ancient Greece and Rome. In those days, only a few people could be citizens. Only men with property possessed the right to vote and to take part in government. Today, gender and wealth are no longer requirements for citizenship. Indeed, most people are citizens out of the country in which they live. Citizens have certain rights and duties. Now, notice every time it said citizens, it was lowercase. When it started talking about citizens have rights, they say citizens have certain rights and duties, not certain privileges and obligations, certain rights and duties. Didn't Obajwali give you some things to do? Didn't he tell you to adhere to principle? Didn't he tell you that love is the first principle? Didn't he tell you that you have a holy covenant? Didn't he tell you certain things to make you recognize that you are your own body politic? You are citizens of your Asiatic states. He doesn't have to say citizens of Asiatic states. If these are the United States of America and America is Morocco, then you're obviously a citizen of your own stuff, which has nothing to do with U.S. or U.S.A. But some people don't want to think. Some people want to be told everything. Some people want to be told everything, right? They're citizens, right? National, Black's Law Dictionary. And then it's crazy, right? Okay, crazy. Okay. You see me leaning on this book the whole time, right? You see me leaning on this book the whole time. I haven't opened this book yet today, right? And where is it in the book? Where is it in the book? It's in N. What page? The page with national. And then Navi Bey sent the definition of national. And we have the book open on the page. You really think that this is not divine going on right now? You really think that we don't know what's going on and we're the ones that are going to cause some change around here? Because we're connected to the divine and the national. How much more instances do you need to know that what we're saying is really what's up? Forget all these people who claim that they're saying something and they know something. They're not attached to no divine. How is it that the Moor is sending the national definition page, snapshot, for me to read, and then I'm on the page already? How? How is it? You listen to these people you're worried about. You're talking about the Moors, infighting amongst the Moors. That's not us. Didn't you see them two jokers last night? Ishmael Bey and Taharka Bey going at each other on that platform? How come they're going at each other? I thought they're boys and all that stuff. How come Taharka's talking about he's going to block Ishmael Bey? And then tomorrow they're going to be friends, you know what I mean? Who used to do that? Who used to do that? Play that game that they're against each other and then get you there, and then you get hype, and then you go to they're going to debate each other, and then at the end they're hugging and splitting the freaking whatever they got. Because you're a dumbass. Just because you followed the scapegoat off the cliff like a dumbass, but you're chasing something. Why you follow the scapegoat over the cliff, dumbass? Why? Why would you follow the scapegoat over the cliff? But you know, that's just how it goes. But it's about to be 9 o'clock. I want to say Islam to all the Moors. Islam to the Moor for, you know, calling in, putting the stuff on the record. Islam to all the Moors that were tuning in, the Moors that were in the chat, making sure that everything was regulated and people didn't get, you know what I mean, too excited thinking that they could just run up in our stuff. I think they could run up in our stuff. Don't forget, Blog Talk Radio, MHHS, Eyes Wide Open. Today, let's go to, don't forget, moorishnews.wordpress. So today, Principles of Nationality in Action. In conjunction with the Final Call series, do you know how the states calculate their population? Did you know it is based on membership? If you read and study the Moroccan American Constitution, 1791, it tells you that a state or commonwealth is valid only if it maintains a certain number of members. This is called population. Of this membership population, all must voluntarily agree to be a member, thereby creating a population. Did you know that the only people who can be a member of these entities are the lineal descendants of modern Europeans? Were we just talking about this? Oh. That would be the Slavic, which were and are the original slaves. Did you know that those of African descent cannot be members of any state or commonwealth? So why are so-called grand sheiks in the external temples telling you that you must be a member of U.S.A? Don't let me throw this goddamn phone across the freaking room. Listen via internet, blogtalkradio.com/MHHS Eyes Wide Open, or to listen via telephone, call 425-569-5201, 425-569-5201, or 347-945-5899. Right? We're ready to go, boy. We're ready to go.
The M symbolizes an owl, and the R symbolizes the mouth of Ra. All right, so that comes to mean the word Moor. All right, based on hieroglyphics, based on Metu Neter.
When more study our Quran and questions for Moorish children. Prosecutors and magistrates hail us in the admin buildings. Challenging jurisdiction, paperwork sent first. No fiat, quenching their money hungry, bloody credit thirst. Trustees benefit when they treat your estate. That you thought was a provincial state is a big mistake. From corporate plantations, there's no escape or backdoor unless reserve rights on contract doors. Keep eyes open for, like you misplaced something. It's witchcraft when you hear caught and your heartbeats jumping. Extortion, past due letters, fake money, bounty hunting. Filing public records, papers with in-debt counties fronting. To have authority, Constitution approved. But those filed papers at the county doesn't stop the abuse. Might as well just put on the noose. Shackles and chains on ankles, no boots. In snowstorms with no shame, with no status, no flag, no free national name. With fractional damage, collateral, irrational claims. Catch a psych evaluation or contempt of quasi-court. Calling out what's not in evidence won't set a precedence. Misprision of treason and gross negligence. Denying due process and sharing the same sentiments. On you harder than cement is. If you give them a chance, I'm here to help you not enter their brainwash camps. Keep your neck hidden, no kidding. Watch out for vamps, light revealer, and keeper won't keep casting the lamps. Always giving without expecting thanks. In a b-boy stance, scimitar swinging at outstretched hands.
My attack is purely mental and it's meant to lock. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwash. My attack is purely mental and it's meant to lock. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwash.
Yo, they run on the floor with elegance, lower self-elements. Get the gentleness stomp of Hannibal Alp elephants. Taking back our settlements, induce relevant resonance. In full life, ancestral mind, no artificial intelligence. Men turn bionic, high off the seedless hydroponic. Thinking they on it, but what they on it must be demonic. Not Baphomet, Moroccan star on his head. Crescent moons of Islam, he uses caduceus from Kemet. Sitting in meditation, goatee like a Rasta. Raised Kundalini, light bursts out the crown chakra. Volcanic viewed HD and panoramic. No ayahuasca root, seeing signs and symbols automatic. Did I play eyes, cause mine's so wide open. Maybe an omen can't see truth cause your third eye's swollen. And it's not going down no matter what spell spoken. Or your devotion or golden potent potion. Can't even use water frozen, Moorish shogun. Says the calcifying chambers now rest in the bottom of oceans. Left hoping, false prophet quoting and chasing. Minds under control like lasers for steel engraving. Mental blocks and thought barricades, the real enslaving. No cape, no type, no dynamic duo when I'm saving. With heads locked, pop brainwash, don't think I'm breaking or b-boying. Put scholars, very annoying. With hillbilly sovereigns, knowledge he hawing. Being sold out by my own is what has me warring.
My attack is purely mental and it's meant to lock. It's meant to wake you up out of your brainwash. My attack is purely mental and it's meant to lock. It's meant to wake you up.
Jello Beats, holla at 'em.
BPP, ain't BPP. I'm telling y'all, no one with a lawyer, so don't ask me. I know y'all are Moors, just ask General Khalid. The general said he's a more NBPP. Won't take heed. Your greed for his name, fame got me skunk drunk. You never pull the trigger, just pose with the shotguns pump. Waiting and hating, showing no love, but you're showing bacon. Licenses for ID at the police station. On top of that, no rights reserved on the contract. Dirty Moors, finesse masters, use old leaders to con cats. Show their picture, but won't use their best quotes. Only use the ones to bring in fiat notes from scapegoats. Kwame Touré's wife, even wore a fez at their wedding. I snicker at SNCC and all black organizations begging. Walking with limbs peg-legging. These conscious pirates, fake freedom warners getting the ratings when I'm irate. Conscious. 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 Sarnetta sat down with Taj Bay one-on-one. Suit and Yeti is my target, Aleem Bay is my gun. All I do is crush a lot truth. My big pun and Fat Joe falling on you 50 feet below. Mike Fatso, Mark conscious coons, frauds up with my firing squad. Tugging at emotions hard like sleeping, pulling a quad. Larry's no professor, show me some doctorate degree, son. We'll listen to I'm African crap until I see one. I'm not asking for much, cause I give more than I ask for. Moorish MC, lay it down hot like asphalt. I won't cool though, some call me Fool Joe. Trying to get under my skin, you must be a new grow. Old foe gets scolded slow, lash with a tongue strap. Conscious coons wanna be gazy and make a comeback. Not on my
sat next to this European fellow who was asking me what I did and so forth, and I told him. But then I started to continue to talk. And then I went on and on. He said, the Moors, I don't know too much about the, thank you, brother, too much about the Moors. Just that they were Muslims, right? I said, the vast majority of them were Muslims, but they were also people of other faiths. And he says, well, that's interesting. I said, but the Moors are also in Ireland. And then he started to kind of move around in the seat, because he had also equated the Moors with Spain, and Spain only. So I said, no, actually the Moors went up into Ireland and County Cork. In fact, I said, and there were even continued attacks on the coast by Moorish corsairs as late as the 16th century. And a lot of these people interviewed those Irishmen living in Ireland. I said, and when you look at names like Moor, which is pretty obvious, you see it. Or Scottish or Irish names that have the MC on the front, whether it's Mick or Mac. That's a reference to the Moors. So MacDougall and McConnell and McMarion and McMurray, etc. There's a reference to an African progenitor there.
Dave.
I see.
And turban the whole nation under a banner, get banned, got hanged. Canaanland is the song slaves sang. Heading up north, past Niagara Falls. Gold on the neck and wrists on the shores. Some just walk, most rode on a horse. Tell memory of thee when I lost on course. Hero on my shoulder, in my ear in Morse. Code of my art with force. My family's are noble, sheikhs and laws. Birthplace of shackles, alchemist Moors. Since the battle of Tours, my face on this cross and noose. My face has troops and in roots. Let them tell your story, you lose. Hang on a corner, just another noose. Hang on a rim, slave to the game. Still got a 10 cause they got me trained. Noose on the brain, no jokes, no smiles. Bruce killers' names in library files. History of Moors, America, lies and isles. In the brewery of lies, from primary to secondary. Schools, concentration camps, lockdown scary. Twisting the laws and the keys and locks. Classes, Nazis, those are not cops. Bloodstained shiny rocks. When frost starts, it can't stop. But it will, with the will of the people towards self, not a church steeple. They say we equal but act opposite. Ego sees a way and then cops it. Robbing like Robin, not giving up the core. Collecting handouts, not giving up the cure. In parts, not holistic. Mystic, natural, not odds. Mystic, national, that's wise. Big shades, it's not iron sheet but plies. All of the puppets sit sewn and stuff it. The rap game is Mick D's, that's how they love it. Climbing the charts forever, can't get above it. Putting out whack album plus with the budget. I damn rappers flows and they can't budget. Lose your $1 million house, you can't budget. They use the net and seduce a pen pal. Male or female, that's the signal. I can see Puffy the magic dragon puffin'. Dancing the fez, man, you just bluffing. That fez should get grabbed off your head, get bussin'. And get cussing, some pushing and shoving. Rap nerds wanna be cool like McLovin. Rap Hitler put rap Jews in the oven. Rap nerds wanna be cool like McLovin. Rap Hitler put rap Jews in the oven.
We
wanna do, you wanna swim in the bling, but pool spells poo. Undercover cops such a black hole, thinking it's a god, but it's really the Gestapo. President's a damn prop, just a puppet like Pinocchio and Lamb Chop. Damn rock, damn hops, take the Yoda back. Jews at the football game, scream, get a quarterback. Eminem wanna be fully, but he not a quarter black. Music videos on BET, make a heart attack, yo body. Fall to the ground, start screaming, stop. You think that it's air that you're breathing hot. You don't know about the Stargate and the Gulf of Aden that the army's not releasing. I heard Cthulhu's not sleeping. BP spills the oil, they're not weeping. The diamonds on the floor start sweeping into your pockets. Give me free things. Obama is the president, great, but they told you that would happen in a movie. Had to stay, get it straight. Sit in the sun and meditate. Everyone is born with an expiration date. Life is really nothing but a period of grace, separating the best genetic material from the waste and then sending it with haste into the next generation. Constant accumulation of trivial information is clogging civilizations, slowing social progress, reducing the rate of evolution. That's how the humans will lose. The truth is moved. Northeast, west, and south is called news.